Football.
Gentlemen, it's time for some dumb football questions. Some DFQs, if you guys are ready to rock and roll here. Some DFQs. I want to start with my own dumb football question, and then we'll get to a bunch of the great audience ones that came in here throughout the last couple weeks. But have you guys kind of followed this new Seth Wickersham book about quarterbacks that's been the Caleb Williams stuff that has come out the last few days?
Yeah.
We haven't really texted much about this.
Yeah, I haven't been able to tell if it's all truthful or not because it seems like it's a bunch of those secondary repost sites that I keep seeing it from.
Well, his dad is it's like his dad is quoted in the book talking about the inner workings of his draft process.
Listen, are we talking about how like his dad had thought of a million ways to make him make all this money? Is that really true?
No. It's also like he was trying to find a way to like go play in the UFL for
I know,
a year,
that's what
so
I'm
he
saying.
didn't have to get drafted by the
free
Bears.
agency right away. Like, are we? I'm not. I don't really want to speculate on if he really said that. That's messed up, dude.
I'll give you this. So the two biggest nuggets that came out, and then I have a dumb football question off this, is number one, they meaning his family, did not want, and Caleb, did not want to go to the Bears.
Right.
And UFL was something they kicked around, but he met Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings coach, at the combine, and they clicked because Kevin clicks with every quarterback. Every quarterback, like Anthony Richardson, these guys get done with like getting beat by the Vikings, and then after the game, you can tell they're like, "Get me the hell out of here, save me, save my career." So that was a big thing that he didn't want to go to the Bears. Bears were a quarterback killing franchise, which they have been. But the other thing that came out was that the Bears coaching staff, the way it was framed by the Williams family, is that no one taught him how to watch film. That he got to the NFL and they just like pointed to the film room and he would like watch film alone. That was my reaction. So
I don't believe.
Okay.
I don't believe that either.
I
So
don't
here-
believe that.
So here's my question, and maybe there's some gray area to the truth here, but are there any signs, going back to, we were ripping on him for crying in his parents' arms at USC. Has anything happened since the middle of his last year at USC? And the Bears have been a dumpster fire. They fired their coaching staff. Like, I get all that. Has anything happened that leads you to believe that Caleb Williams is going to become a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the NFL at some point?
The only thing that, and I'll say yes to this for just one reason: what Ben Johnson did with Jared Goff. Right? Okay. What Ben Johnson did with Jared Goff after the Rams were like, "Hey, Trashy from Toy Story, we don't want you anymore. We don't play with you anymore. You can go." Right? We know you took us to a Super Bowl. You can leave. Just get out. And they basically were like, "We're going to send you to Detroit to die." Right? Matt Stafford's been there forever. You're going to have to huge shoes to fill. And what Ben Johnson did with Jared Goff in Detroit gives me some glimmer that he is a good enough coach to reinvent Caleb, because he's only in his second year. Right? And it wasn't a good year last year. And they're going to do things completely different. There's going to be new systems. There's going to be new ways that practices run, new ways to do everything. It's like Caleb gets to start over. And yes, he's got his issues, as every player does in the NFL. But I'm willing to say that I think Ben Johnson can get the best out of Caleb. And talent-wise, he's got it. Like, he's got all the natural talent in the world. Can Ben Johnson hone that talent correctly? I want to say yes, just what he did with Jared Goff, but I don't know, because he's never worn head ball coach before, and that comes with a totally different ball of wax than just developing your offensive coordinator and developing your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Jay. There's a lot on Ben Johnson. Do I think that the previous administration didn't teach him how to watch film? No. I think that if you don't know what you're looking at by the time you're coming out of college, you're an idiot. And at some point when you get to the NFL, they just teach you more about safeties. Hey, these two guys are really important. Like, at first you're like, well, fuck these two guys. The guy's important to the 4 up front and these 3 right here. And they're like, yeah, but these guys tell you where they go. And that's when you were like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, there's a trail, and you follow the trail, and it shows you the screen. You're like, holy shit, I could have known this before. Like, that's really the only thing we learned in the NFL. So for a dad to come out and be like, oh, this that's all bullshit, dude. Like, you don't think that quarterback coach and that offensive coordinator wasn't sitting in there every goddamn day like, hey, when we get this look, we want to check to this. They're not stupid, dude. They're not walking up there to lose the game. But at some point, maybe Caleb saw it as they didn't grab his hand and go, hey, this is how we watch film on Tuesday. This is how we break down blitzes. Like, they probably, because a lot of times they don't really explain what they're doing. You just watch them enough and you go, oh, okay, yeah, he told me that this safety coming down is going to cause a blitz. This is the 35th fucking time it's happened. Hey, I'm going to assume that you are right about this. Anytime that guy's down, blitz comes from this side. Got it.
But also,
I didn't need someone to fucking tell me how to do it, right?
But I mean, and also Lincoln Riley, excuse me. Lincoln Riley has put Baker Mayfield. I don't know why Lane went
way fucking
Lincoln, yeah.
Lane
Lincoln
Kiffin's
Riley.
putting some dudes in the league.
Jackson Dart, dude.
Jackson
First
Dart,
round
let's
pick.
go.
Right, but he had Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams. Are you telling me that he didn't coach them the same way? I haven't heard any of these issues about not being able to watch film from a guy named Baker Mayfield.
Maybe
Right?
Kyler
Like,
Murray.
Kyler
He's
has-
playing Xbox.
Kyler's playing Xbox and whatnot, but at the same time, he was out there figuring it out and doing his thing. So I don't believe for a second that you will not do everything in your power to make your number one overall pick work. And if that means hiring a hand holder, I've seen guys do it. To do it, like, they will. If that means here, if he didn't learn how to watch film, strictly on his own problem. Strictly on your own, you didn't put enough time into it. Right? Because if you're going to call yourself the number one overall pick, you better have prepped through all of preseason, all of the pre-draft process, making yourself worthy of that number one pick. Surrounding yourself with the right people to say, hey, when I get into the league, I need to impact now. Right? How do I surround myself? And so if he didn't do that, that's on him. Right? When you get to the NFL, there's a million things going on, and they're going to help you, and they're going to do everything they can for you. But so much of becoming a successful NFL player is just doing it yourself. You have to do it yourself. You have to put the time in, put the work in, worry less about what the hell I'm wearing to the game on Sunday and more about who's the guy that's going to try and take my face off if I don't hit this read right. Like, that's the stuff that I don't believe that for a second.
I don't either.
On the money front, the quote that I think, Boone, you probably saw was Carl Williams, his dad, said the rookie cap is the fact that he's like talking to an author on the record about this stuff is kind of wild to me and another red flag. But the rookie cap is unconstitutional. Worst piece of bleep I've ever read. It's the worst in sport. The CBA is the worst piece of bleep I've ever read.
Phil, listen. I don't want to hear how somebody not in our league tells me about the CBA. You're not in the league. You're good. You didn't fucking vote on it. You didn't even have a choice to vote on it. And just remember one thing. All the things you see in that piece of shit CBA, it used to be way fucking less. So don't tell me about what a piece of shit it is, because we're the ones over here like, hey, do you think maybe you could just wash our clothes for us? Do you think maybe we could get some fresh fucking helmets every year? You don't think we know, homie? The problem is they're paying your son like $31 million, which is life-changing fucking money for anyone. And to turn around and call that a piece of shit, I think that's fucking nonsense. I think at some point somebody needs to shut their fucking dad up and go, hey, you don't play in this league. Shut your fucking mouth. Got it? Your son's making $35 million, and you're like, this is bullshit. He should make more. He hasn't even won more than 4 fucking games. What do you mean?
All right, soapbox a little bit here. I think this is going to become more and more of a thing with NIL, right?
Yeah.
Because you now are getting paid, even as a high school kid, a large sum of money before you even show up into college, right? And then you're going to like, hey, there's kids that are going to come in, 17, 18-year-olds making more than the fourth-year guy that's been there for the whole time. This was the issue that the old CBA had with the rookie scale. Right. Back when Bradford and Sue made
it was my year.
$60 million. It
was the last year of it,
before they stepped onto the football field, and the vets in the NFL and everyone said, whoa. This is a earned, not given league. So yes, you're going to make your money. You're going to go, but you have to earn those huge mega $1 million contracts. That's what the CBA did. That's what college football is behind on. It took the NFL years to learn that mistake. It took the threat of a lockout and part of a lockout to fix that mistake. Now with NIL, it's going to become what people expect walking into the NFL. Hey, just like I got recruited, I'm a first round pick. I should be paid like the top player at my position in the NFL. That's not how the NFL works. The street's littered with first rounders that have done nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Right? Just like schools are going to find out some of these 5-star recruits are going to do nothing.
And hey,
that's just the way it works. You're going to pay a kid $1 million. He's going to come in and never touch the field. It happens every year. 5-star recruits don't pan out. And then all of a sudden the 3-star kid's your 4-year starter, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I should have paid him $1 million instead of his $75,000. Right? That's just the way it works. Football is an earned, not given league. I don't know. It's just not going to. It's the mindset has to shift for coming into the NFL going, it's not like college.
Right.
It's not college money. It's not we need to recruit you. It's not we have to beat you out. It's not you can hit the transfer portal. It's a make it or break it league. It's a take this offer or don't. I don't care because there's a billion people behind you that'll take it. If you don't, it's got to shift a little bit because that kind of quote and that stuff right there is just the worst mindset to have.
Absolutely, and that's your starting quarterback. But here's the problem. Jay said it's the players bitching. It wasn't really the players. Like, yeah, a lot of players were like, this is bullshit, right? It was the fucking owners going, you're telling me I got to pay this guy $60 million. He's not even going to be on my team in 3 years. I'm paying him $60 million. He's not even going to do anything for me. They were the ones that were like, y'all are taking a pay cut. Y'all are going to go way, way down, and you're going to understand that you'll work your way back into this. And guess what? The guys didn't like it my year, the year after. They were all like, man, this is bullshit. Oh, the guys before us made 60, and now I'm going down to 15. Like, what the fuck? Guess what? I'm pretty sure they all signed their deals because the owners were like, oh, you don't like it? I can take it back. I go pick up that kid. You don't want... Right? It's like Jay said, the demand is so fucking high. The problem is the colleges right now are kind of getting bent over a fucking barrel because they think these kids have a massive voice. Whereas if 10 of them, now hear me because this is collusion, would come together and go, hey, you know what? No, we're not going to pay you. We're the top 10 schools. You're going to fucking take the offer we give you. And if you don't like it, go to the 11th school for all we give a fuck. But the top 10 have to stay firm in what they do. Now, they'll eventually figure that out, just like the NFL did. Like, we all know there's a lot of colluding going on. We're not fucking stupid. It still is a great league to be a part of, and it's an honor and a privilege. But at some point, that's how the business gets done. And so for people to come out and be like, this is stupid fucking CBA, you don't know how much we've had to give up just to get the dumbest goddamn things, dude. Like, when you're dealing with, and we said this before, the big boy B, they fight like you don't even fucking know. Like, I know how to fist fight, right? I think I'm a pretty good fist fighter. These guys will claw you open slowly, surgically, like, and then they get your friends to rat on you, and they open you up, and they're like, okay, it's fine. Let's start touching nerves in here. And you, dude, they say, I've been in some of those meetings where they come back and like, the owner said this, and you're like, did you tell him I said that? You didn't tell him I said that, did you? You said he said that, right? No. We all said that. You didn't say my fucking name, did you? Because I'm gonna get cut. Like they are vicious, and you're over here like, I'm just so I'll have more porridge, sir. I will take my
please,
porridge.
Sir, can I have some more?
I don't need a locker. I can get changed in the bathroom. It's terrible.
So I mean, it'll be, and I think another factor here too is, and we can get to some other DFQs, is this book comes out and your dad's talking all over the place on the record, and you're talking to him and he's telling the author what you said, so now your name's out there. And guess what? All of your teammates and coaches are going to have to answer at OTAs and minicamps,
Oh, yeah.
Chicago media and training camp,
Caleb's dad
and
here?
week 1 and week 2.
Giving his opinion?
100%. And the minute you have a bad game, does he not know how to watch film the right way? Why didn't he see that? Why didn't he see that corner blitz? Because no one. You've just created a whole thing for a lot of people. So
having a voice is great, and I love that players, especially college players and now NFL players, have a platform. But you can dig yourself a deep hole, deep hole, because the internet's forever, right? Like people, this could happen. I mean, Kirk Cousins, it's a great example. Great person, fantastic. How long did the didn't watch film on Tuesdays thing live on? Because it was on the internet. Yeah. Right? It was on a Netflix show, right? And he didn't say it maliciously. He didn't say it in a bad way, but that just, it carries, right? It constantly, the Kyler Murray, the video game thing.
But why,
Jay? It attaches.
They're getting paid.
It attaches. And when you're the first overall pick, you're expected to become a Hall of Famer, right? Like, let's be real. If you get drafted 1-1, the ideal expectation is you are a generational, I hate that term, talent that's going to go wear a gold jacket when this thing's all said and done. And you will be held to that level versus, like, again, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. I don't even know if he's going to make our team, right? And so you get to claw up and build yourself this lore. Like, I did it. Look at me. When you're the first pick, really the only place to go is down. Right. Like, you can only really go down unless all of a sudden you blow it out of the water and you're a Pro Bowler in your second, third year, and you're like, okay, you put it all together. You have a different standard held to you. And if your dad and mom, brother, sister, I don't care, your agent, whatever is out there putting your name behind things, you need to get control of your own house. Yeah. You better control your own house, because if you don't, people will speak for you in this world forever, and it will follow you personally.
I'll say this too. If football or life stresses you out to the point where you are bawling in the arms of your parents, you might want to try Arula, our new partner here on O-Line Committee. Listen, if the stresses of life and or the different things that can pile up, the plates you're spinning, if it seems unmanageable. And listen, guys, like, we suffer in silence oftentimes. You can talk to someone who can help you manage the things going on in your life, and that's where Rula comes in. R-U-L-A, Rula, to help you talk to a professional that knows what they're doing. I've been open on podcasts and radio shows for years about depression running on my side of the family, my dad, my grandpa. Rula comes in with 15,000 therapists nationwide, in network for most major insurance providers. And the typical copay is just $15 per session. So this can be a really helpful tool for managing major stressors in your life. Join the thousands of people who've turned to Rula to improve their mental health. Visit rula.com/O-line. That's RULA.com/O-line and connect with a licensed therapist / someone who can help you manage the stressors in your life. And when you sign up, they'll ask how you heard about Rula. You can tell them that you love the O-line committee, and then they can help you out. Or you can ding me now.
Ding.
Sensitive.
Ding sensitive. Nope.
Ding sensitive. Ding sensitive at checkout.
Dumb football. Yeah, go ahead. I got another one for you. Go ahead.
We haven't talked about Nick Sirianni at all.
Just got paid.
Nick Sirianni just got himself paid.
Dumb football question. Did the Eagles make the right decision extending their Super Bowl winning head coach?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it weird that you have to you almost have to ask that though? Right?
No.
He was like kind of on the hot seat in like
he's a
week
perfect
6, I
fit for
feel
them,
like
dude.
that.
We've talked about this. Philly is meant for Nick. Nick is meant for Philly. I love the pairing. Him and Howie, all of it. It works. I'm with it. I love it. Run with it. Do it. Grease the fucking fire poles. Do everything you can because this shit's going to be crazy for a while there, dude.
Is it fair to say that it's a great, like, you got to do it. You won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
He's the head coach. And also, there's a good chance he gets fired before the end of the 2026 NFL season.
Listen, you know what else they're doing? They're showing everybody that if you come here and work, we'll fucking pay
We'll pay you. We'll pay
We
you.
will give you what? Look at
Saquon,
Saquon.
yeah.
They quickly turned around and were like, and you know what
Jalen.
that was? I've been thinking about this a lot.
Saquon, Jalen,
I
Cam,
guarantee
Cam,
you,
Cam Jurgens,
Cam
Dickerson,
Jurgens,
like
Saquon was, you didn't bitch about the yards holding the record. We're going to give you so much fucking money. Like, you didn't come back and fight us that you wanted to be the greatest running back ever. You said, okay, and now we have a Super Bowl and we have this dynasty that we're building. Like, let's reward you. What do I see as if I'm a free agent? I want to go there. I want to go there because if I work really fucking hard, they'll pay me, right? Same thing with the coaches. You work really fucking hard here, we'll pay you. We'll give you everything you want, and that's what Philly's showing them, and I fucking love it, dude. That's why I'm all about that. And, yeah, Nick, and they have some weird interactions on the sidelines. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of chaos. But, hey, man, who's to say in football that isn't what it's like? People don't understand. There's a lot of fucking fighting on the sideline. There's a lot of crazy shit. It's just really kept to a minimum. Right there in Philly, they're like, we don't give a shit who sees this brotherly love. Fuck out of my face. Like, it's hilarious, and I think that they need that to be successful.
yeah. I mean, hats off to him. You win a Super Bowl. You built a super roster, and now just go manage people. Like, I don't even know how much game planning or anything he really does. If I'm being completely honest,
Because he's not calling plays. Now, I think sometimes it's overrated. Like, what does a head coach do if they don't call plays? Well, they organize a ton of shit during the week, and they organize humans on the coaching staff and humans on a 53-man roster.
He's the vibe tester, dude. He's the vibe,
He's the
right?
vibe.
If I don't like the vibe, the head coach comes down and goes, I don't like the fuck we're doing. Pick it up. Or he's like, hey, I like right where we are. Everybody enjoy yourself. Let's put it on cruise, right? Like, they have such a heart. Because you got to think, there's a lot of times guys go to them and they go, hey, I'm unfucking happy. Or, hey, you got to explain this to me. Like, they're dealing with a lot of different moods, right? You get a DB, then you get an O lineman, then you get a quarterback, and then you get a running back. Like, they're all over, and they have to be the guy that's neutral. Hey, this is good for us, okay? It's good for us, and this is why. You're going to help us do this, or doing this is going to help us get over here, whatever it is. And you have to fucking sell it. You can't be the guy that's like, I think. It's got to be like, I promise you, this will fucking pay off. And you got to make 53 motherfuckers believe it. That's hard. What else is hard? Being the same guy every day. Because eventually you're like, hey, we did win the Super Bowl. Let's have some fun. And then there's going to be some guys there that check you that are like, oh, really? Because the old Nick would have said, we need time to fucking work. Like, you got to be that guy. Someone shows up late. He's your star player. What are you doing? You do whatever you do once, you got to do forever. Right? And instantly it's like you're going to get checked down the road and people are going to be watching you. It's hard to show up. That's why I'm so fucking excited that King Dunlap said that Andy Reid was one of the greatest guys off the field. because it is so hard for 40 years to be that fucking same guy. It is impossible because there's guys that make you want to hate them. There's guys that make you want to hate this game. And to come out there every day and be that guy and have a team be like, yeah, that's my head coach. I fucking love him. Like, you got to have such command. And you have to almost have your team be afraid of you a little bit. Like, I don't know, guys. We get in trouble. It's going to be ugly.
Coming down.
Right? It's going to get ugly. You got to have a little bit of that. It can't be like, fuck him. He's not going to give a shit. Because then you're just going to have anarchy everywhere. It's got to be like, is he here? All right, he's not here. Deal him out real quick. Here we go. Right? That's why I think they should pay that motherfucker.
They did.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Okay,
Dallas is going down for a long time, baby. Did I say that out loud? Whoops.
Deep thoughts with Alex out loud from his brain. Noah Carrington chimes in here, YouTube comment section. It kind of goes back to our CBA discussion, but also a question maybe for Agent Jeremiah. Are there player options in the NFL like in other sports? Like the NBA, the star players always get like LeBron gets a player option at the end. He negotiates it. I was talking with my roommate, and somehow LeBron's 2025-26 player option got brought up. There you go. He was dumbfounded how a player can dictate whether or not a team pays him. He's primarily an NFL fan and said there's no way that happens in the NFL. Yeah, why? Because there really aren't. It's by the way, the contracts go, let's say 5 years. Really, it's 3, Correct. And then there's 2 years of non-guarantee money. Yeah. And those act as like team options.
The team can decide.
The team decides whether you stay or not. Yeah. Take you ain't choose. You know what? I don't know that I want to be here. You tell me why. Could you imagine that, Jay? Like, you know what? Do I want to take your $15 million or do I want to run? I don't know. Give me a minute, guys. Like, they don't understand that. Like, this league is run by brutal, tough men that never let us decide how it's going to go. We get 0 fucking decisions. The only decision is, do I sign this paper or not? Do I think my agent can get me more? Do I think I'm worth more? Remember, and Jim used to say this all the time, and it made me laugh after a while, never look a gift horse in the mouth, right? He would explain it, too, like why you should never. He'd be like, back in the day, it was disrespectful to open the horse's mouth when someone gave you one, and you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But he'd say this all the time, never look a gift horse in the mouth. And the minute you look at the team and go, gee, I don't know, they're going to look at you like, the fuck you just said us? Bro, really? Okay. You want to make this business. Okay, here we go. Now it becomes business. Dude, they have the most say in everything, and they're never going to be like, and you know what? In years 5 and 6, you can
decide.
You can void it if you want to. You don't play with their money. They play with the money. Yeah.
There's a reason they're called owners. They own you. They own you. You sign that piece of paper, you're theirs. You're their plaything.
Which you want to be.
And you're excited to be
it. You are very excited.
Like, thank you for playing with me.
The thing, jing. You got me, dude. Whatever you want me to do. You want me to run through that wall? I'll do it.
Just like a kid, eventually they'll be like, I'm tired of you. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Go
and
away.
It's over. It's gone. Like,
bye, guys.
But the other biggest difference is even the best quarterbacks in the world, like the only position that would ever be able to do this are like the 4 best quarterbacks in the world maybe have that type of leverage. In the NBA, there's like 12 active players on game day. When LeBron James left the Cavs like 10 years ago or 15 years ago to go to the Heat, the Cavs went from being a 65-win team to a 20-win team. Mm-hmm. And then when he left the Heat, like LeBron in his prime was worth like 20 or 30 or 40 wins compared to a batter. Like if you go from a bad team to a good team. So if you're a guy like that and you have that much influence on wins and losses, you can then tell that team, I'll sign with you. But once we get to year 4, I'll decide. If I blow my knee out, I'm exercising my player option. Because you have that leverage, one player can sway an entire team. In the NFL, it's much more of a team.
Huge. Oh, yeah. So much bigger.
Dude, you got to think.
That'll never happen.
Wasn't it Peyton Manning? Didn't he ask for, like, ownership? And everybody was like, hey, man, if there was anyone that was going to do it, it was him, right? And they, like, within, like, an hour, they were like, no, not a fucking chance. And it was like, guys, we are all just meat to them. We are all fucking meat.
If they're telling Peyton no, we ain't getting anything.
Not a fucking, ain't nobody getting anything. That's royalty family.
Okay, this one's from Romar. This might be our last one here for timing purposes. Romar says, how do vets on an NFL team navigate when a younger quarterback or green dot player on defense is leading the team? Like if a young player has a green dot, or, Caleb Williams, for instance, could fit as the young quarterback. Can you tell early on if they have the X factor to be an alpha over players who are older and have paid their dues?
That's kind of hard, but I will say early on with young guys with green dots, like I was there with Cap when he was young. You have a lot of learning curve with them, right? Like you're going to learn a lot while they learn a lot. And
it's always the quarterback on offense.
Yeah, like, we don't deal with
there's no other option for
No.
green dot on. So you just kind of have to hope that he is.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of working with him, right? So like during practices and stuff, you'd be like, hey, this is why we're going to do this, and we're going to kill this because of this. And there's some growing pains in the game where you're going through things. But yeah, man, when you start to get on it, like you can start to see some of these guys. I think early on they get nervous in the huddle. Like you get into some of these huddles and you can have some fucking superstars in there, and all of a sudden you're the guy everyone's looking at. Like it's got to be insane to have 10 sets of eyes while 80,000 people are watching you. And the most important people in this building are all staring at you going, hey, man, I need to know what the snap count is. What are we doing? Like, I couldn't imagine what that would be like, right? And to be young and right out of college and be like, here we go. Like, a lot of them are quick to just be like, hey, you guys are going to help me, right? You're like, yeah, dude, we got this. Like, just, are we on one or double? Just tell me what the fuck we're doing, right? Like, they get up there, and that's why we always say this. When you have a young quarterback, having a smart center or a veteran O-line or vets around them as much as possible to take things off their plate because they're looking at so much. And all of a sudden, they have a million different protections.
I mean, they're not being taught how to watch film.
But and sometimes they're not, right? And even now, so like you talk about bringing in Ben Johnson's offense, like you're going to be learning so much more stuff. Imagine how Caleb's probably like head is spinning, and now they're like, Dolman, you're going to take over. Thuney, you're going to help. Like all these guys up front are like, we're going to help you do this while you just make sure the backfield looks good, right? Like that's normally how it goes. And over time, you let them take over more, and they want more control. And I remember the first couple times Cap would come in the room and be like, hey, I saw this look, and if we see it again, I want to do this. And it was like, okay, you're cool. I fucking like it. You're getting smart, young man. And like, then they start taking on more and more. And it was funny because like you go from that to a guy like Sam Bradford. Remember Sam was so quiet all the time, and he'd be like, you just like throw out your opinions, and he'd be like, no.
And
you'd be like, I'm an idiot. I'm so fucking stupid. I can't believe I said that. Right? Like,
I'm so sorry.
And he'd just be, or he'd walk over to Stephon Diggs and be like, I think we should break it off at 15. Yeah, 15. I like that. Like it was almost like dealing with Steve Jobs, right? So you're dealing with like one sense of this young player who's like, oh my God, what the fuck, to this other guy who is just brilliant. He's like, you know, let's do that. I like.
What if we changed the charger so
That
we could get an extra $35 per phone sold?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Insane. Just constantly like monotone, like where you're like, they're so calm.
But it wasn't. The thing with Sam too, though, was he'd say like, "Hey, I think we should do this," but it was kind of a rhetorical. Like it wasn't a dialogue, right? Like when Sam said, "Hey, I think that should be at 15," if Diggs would be like, "Well, I think it should be," he'd just turn around and walk away. Like, no, it's
no, I'm not kidding you. It was
it's
like
at 15 now.
It was so
right? Like,
crazy.
Like and he was just so calm about it. Like we do our blitz meetings and be like, "Hey, you think we want to go rocket here because that safety?" And you go, I think Liz is a good call here. Next play. Right? Like, it was just like, okay, and I will write down, we will go Liz in that look. Like, it just never was a dialogue. It was always just kind of like, oh, yeah, got it. Sounds good. Well,
sounds good, Sam.
Berger, you got that?
Cool.
Like,
All right.
But you can tell the alphas from the non-alphas, right? Like, the alphas, they're so confident. And it's not so much when you're asking them questions during a meeting or during practice. It's when you're in the fourth quarter of a game, this guy will walk into the huddle and he'll be like, here we go. Dice right, gun. You're like, oh, he's fucking on one. Here we go. Ready, break. Like, they snap shit. They get to the line. They're like, let's go, boys. You're like, oh, shit, this dude's in a huddle. He's miking stuff over here. You're like, oh, he's fucking on one. Here we go. Like, that's when you want them to be the alpha, right? First, second quarter, we're just playing games, man. Let's just run this shit. It's when you get into 2 minute. Here we go. This guy, hey, I see something over here. Hey, dagger. Instantly, you're like, all right, blitz is coming. Where's it coming from? Like, that's when I found you separate the great quarterbacks from the really good quarterbacks, right? Who's got the next play in their fucking thought process? Who doesn't even have to wait for us to get lined up? We're running, and all of a sudden I hear, Cougar. You're like, oh, it's 2x2. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Like, it's such an element of like confidence when your quarterback is back there just screaming shit. And he's not, and Solari used to say this, are you asking me or are you telling me? And when they're telling you, you feel it. You're like, all right, here we go. And they'll be like, hey, Rocco. You're like, I see him. I got him. He's mine. And it's just, I'm getting goosebumps because you could just. There's times where you're like, man, I'm so fucking excited. And then there's times where you're like, he don't know what the fuck we're doing. Oh shit, here we go. Hey, you see him, right? Are we watching him over here? Do we know what the fucking routes are? Jesus Christ!
That was preseason.
Yeah.
Right. So preseason, right? So Booney was always a starter, right? At least later in his career. My first few years in the league, I was always competing to make it to the roster, which meant I was playing with what we referred to as the jungle, which was the threes.
Oh,
right.
Man.
The threes is the jungle because you've got guys that, hey, this dude got hurt 3 weeks ago in camps. We brought a guy in who's been here for 2 days, and we're running a preseason game tomorrow, right? And so I can remember like both Joe D in San Diego and Tony in Minnesota be like, Sirles, just get everyone lined up. Right? Because I was in a vet and like, okay, I'm probably going to make this team as a backup. So they put me in at center. And we were playing in 2015. We were playing Arizona. And Brady Sorensen was our quarterback. And we're in the fourth quarter. They put me in at center. And they are just all out blitzing us every play. Every play was just all out blitz. And we're back there trying to run empty protections. No. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right, Mike here, you squeeze, you fan. And then Brady's like, what? Like, what? And you're like, dude, with your chest. Say with your chest, right? And I'm trying to get everyone lined up. Like, and so when the guys aren't confident with the green dot, you're just like, this is not going to end well. You get in the huddle and they're like, you could tell they're like squinting, trying to listen. Like, okay, gun. Okay, gun. Oh gosh, dude, you're just
they
huddle
go like this. They go like this.
Yeah, they back out of the huddle and they get in. Like,
tell me again.
Like you have 3 seconds till that thing cuts off, bud. Make a play call. Like let's figure this out. And then you go into 2 minute and you get up on the line and you get set up and you're just waiting for him to tell you a protection. And this happened to us too. I'm just waiting. We're at 2 minute. I'm waiting for a protection call. I've got double mug linebackers standing in front of me, and he just starts going into the cadence. And I literally like I stop and I turn around and I go, what are we doing? He's like, oh yeah 72 I was like, you would have died. Like you would have died, dude. Like no one would have blocked anyone.
Hey,
and it would
assume he would have said Delta, said Hut. That motherfucker
I probably wouldn't have snapped it. Like honestly, I probably would have just been like, I'll take the 5 yards here because you would have died. Like and then I would have looked like an idiot.
You would have been badly crushed.
Yeah. So the green dot, like you have to have that command presence because I've been with plenty of guys, especially in the preseason, that don't have it. Right. There's that viral clip of Gruden with his young quarterback, like where he's like,
who was that?
I think it was Mike Glennon or someone.
No. It was the dude on PFT. It was fucking Chris Sims. He's like, God damn it, Chris. X right 394. Pump, you fucking idiot. Like, dude, that's how it is, man. They're yelling at him.
Yeah. Well, now at least because they can have it in college now, so that'll be a little bit helpful. Yeah, those young quarterbacks trying to learn how to take the play from the helmet to like reiterate it was always a nightmare.
Just show me a Bart Simpson sign, and they'll just do it that way.
It was always a nightmare, especially when the games got going in the preseason and the bullets, like real bullets were flying, and what? It's like, dude, speak up, please.
Let's go. Oh my God, dudes. Keep sending in your dumb football questions. We've got some awesome ones here for I still have a list of like 15 that we haven't even gotten to. So we might just have to do like an hour and a half of them here once it gets really slow.
We need to do a live show.
So.
When are we going to do a live show?
So I've got a proposed date for you guys.
Okay.
It'll be August, but I want to run it by you. I don't want to throw the date out and get the audience hopeful. I was at Rosalia with my wife in Northeast Minneapolis last night, and Alan, who runs the place, comes walking up, and he said, "Are you Mackey?" I said, "Proudly, yes, I am."
Maybe.
He goes, and usually when that happens, it's like Purple Daily or Flagrant House. He goes, "Love O-line committee, love those guys. Say hi to Jay and Alex for me. They're welcome into Rosalia anytime they want."
I'll be there soon.
Northeast. So
don't worry, I'll be there. Food.
Well, we appreciate all you guys. It's been super fun. King was great today. What a great episode. It was a good day.
Yeah, check that out. If you guys, maybe you listened to Dumb Football Questions before the King Dunlap episode, check that out for sure. Click that like button, the subscribe button here. For Jay, for Alex, I'm Phil. This is the O-Line Committee.